Hi, my honeys. I'm as excited as always to be here with you again. Welcome. If this is your first connection, I am just Melissa, and this is Empower Empire, your channel for all things personal power. I am your number one go-to girl for power pointers in all the various realms of your life: personal, partnership, professional, and purpose. It is my express intention to assist in lovingly empowering you, to facilitate more of your healing and release, and to let you know exactly who you are. And in this pursuit, I am your new YouTube bestie, your favorite guide to a more empowered experience that is brilliant, sparkly, and beautiful. And I want nothing less than to share in your rise. Let's explore today's topic. Hi again, my honeys. I'm under the covers. It's freezing cold, and I've got my cup of coffee. And yeah, still got a pretty face on. So I thought maybe it's time to record another little episode for you. I shared with you all a little bit of my story, just for you to get to know me better, especially if you were thinking about possibly working with me one-on-one, who you would be working with, and why I could potentially help you. And I'd like to further that idea in this episode. What's important for you to know is not just some of the details of my story and what I went through, but also the fact that I have dealt with it largely alone. By alone, I don't mean that I didn't have people in my life that loved me and care about me and were supportive of me, because I certainly do. I'm a very blessed and fortunate girl in that regard. But I mean alone in the sense that I really never spoke to anyone about most of the issues and the traumas and the problems and the emotions that I had. I kept them to myself. So largely, I have dealt with everything that I went through by myself. I've dealt with it alone. Except for tiny bits of therapy here and there, which if anyone is interested in, I will tell you about. I literally took on the job of processing my trauma and healing my wounding for myself, by myself. Now, I don't recommend that. I really don't. Most people require support, and there's nothing wrong with that. Especially when you're dealing with traumatic disorders or extremely serious mental health issues. It is important to have a therapist or a counselor or even a friend that you can open up to and who can walk you through this process. I could be someone like that for you if you resonate with me and with my story. But being the personality that I am an INFJ. It's very, very hard to open up, particularly about things that we struggle with, intensely private people. It's just one of those things that everyone opens up to us, but we take a very long time to open up truly to anybody else. I've just realized now that I think I'm looking at you, but I'm actually looking in the wrong place, and my focus should be there. So sorry if there's a sudden shift in the video. Let me have a sip of my coffee while I'm at it. So I will never say that it's impossible. Nothing ever is. We can process our traumas ourselves, heal ourselves, most definitely. But doing so all alone is generally not the path that people walk. Nonetheless, it is the one that I took. However, I have, or at least I did have, a very high IQ and very high EQ. I'm not sure how much of it is left, seeing as a girl is almost 50, and I have a perfectly functioning memory with perfect recall and reference is my affirmation. But I do still struggle from time to time with brain fog. And every now and then, if you watch a few of my videos, you will see I just hit a blank. So that does happen. So how high the IQ is after all this time, I couldn't say. But I did have. And I had a vast knowledge base to work with and to come from because of that. Because I was extremely bookish from very, very young. So I started with Norman Vincent Peale's The Power of Positive Thinking when I was about 7 years old. And I caught the bug of understanding the power of the mind. And so I've made a list. INFJs love lists. I've made a list of some of the books that I studied and read and applied in my own life from the time I was a little girl. I was a librarian at my school's library from the age of 9. And so I started with things like The Principles of Psychology by William James, When Bad Things Happen to Good People by Rabbi Kushner, Melvin Powers' Rational Thinking, Maslow's Motivation Theory, Authentic Happiness by Martin Seligman. I loved Watson's Behaviorism, and I also loved biographies of powerful souls. And Frank's diary, Viktor Frankl. I discovered Nietzsche and Emerson. I adore Emerson, and even Dante. I read Freud and Jung and Tolstoy by the age of 11, and I was onto things like Nostradamus by the age of 12. I had a very, very curious mind, and as I've already mentioned, I needed to understand why people did what they did. I needed to understand their motivations, why there was so much unkindness and cruelty and evil and just a lack of love and care in the world. I couldn't wrap my heart and soul around it. Why were so many things apparently so unfair? So I've always been a truth seeker from the time I was a little child. I was determined to understand these things. And I also wanted to be empowered enough to change those realities as best I could. I felt the call of a mission from very young. As I grew up, I went on to study theology for 7 years, and then comparative theology for a further 7 years, and theosophy. And when I say study, I am an autodidact. So I was doing my learning by myself and studying by myself, nothing official, no doctorates or degrees. But I've also studied science of mind for over 20 years now. I've got very high intuition, and it functions as a precognition, and it's very much in the moment insight that I receive. I'm very astute. I read people and situations and energy very well. I understand it. I connect very naturally, energetically. I've had 3 near-death experiences of my own, and I've had multiple supernatural experiences, but I don't go into what my personal beliefs are, because really it doesn't matter. Whatever you believe in doesn't matter to the work that I do, because it is your belief itself that is what works, not what you believe in. So it doesn't matter what I believe in, because that's what works for me. What you believe in is what will work with you. So whatever your system of faith is, whatever your religion is, whatever it is that you align yourself with, the work that I do will work with that. It's never in any danger. You never have to be afraid that your core beliefs and the things that you cherish, your ideals and your faith, will be in any sort of harm. Not at all. And likewise, if you have no belief system of faith, if you consider yourself agnostic or atheistic, that's fine too. Because it's absolutely not necessary to have a God of any kind external to you in order for you to be able to access your power. So every system of faith and belief, all the various gods, it'll all work with you for your personal empowerment. You can heal any physical condition that you may have. Somewhere in the world, someone has healed themselves of absolutely everything. There is no disease on this planet that is 100% fatal. Did you know that? If one can do it, anyone can do it. I promise you that. You can process through and you can heal completely any trauma. Any. You can heal your childhood wounds. That's what wounds do. They heal. You can release your emotional baggage. You can completely change your programming. You can enlighten your mind. You can sparkle up your life. Yourself is just marvelous when you let it be. So honestly, to the core of my soul, I'm a sweetheart. I really am. I'm a Libra, so I'm all about fairness, balance, harmony. And I just have sunshine in my soul. I'm a number 3, which is all about life. So I think that links you to some of life's challenges more perhaps, but also to the essence of life itself. I'm also a number 6, which is the humanitarian and all about love and charity and the easing of suffering. This is who I am. It's central to the core of my being. I love people, and I love deep and meaningful connections. I'm highly empathic, and if I work with you, it will always be with much love and compassion. My passion is assisting you to find, to access, to harness, to hold, and to learn how to use your own power most effectively. I would love to have a connection with you and to be connected to your journey of your rise. Much love. If you found this video valuable and you enjoyed it, I would really appreciate it if you give it a like. And please, share your impressions and your questions with me in the comments below. I love receiving your feedback. Please also consider becoming a subscriber. It's free and it helps this channel to grow and to reach more new viewers so that we can spread this light more and more. Activate the notification bell if you would like to be informed when I post new content. And all of my offerings are always listed in the description box below. I'm constantly working to add to the available menu. As always, embrace this message if it resonates and be ineffable, my honeys. Much love. Until the next one.